I am 82 years old, and I need to tell you this. Over the course of my career, I worked with hundreds of people. I shook thousands of hands. I sat through hundreds of meetings. But on the day I retired, as I was clearing out my office, no one knocked on my door. I sat alone in an empty conference room, and in that moment I understood something. I had been successful, but I was alone. My name is Richard. I worked at the same company for 38 years, 15 of those as a general manager. I had a good career, a respected position. People knew who I was. We greeted each other in the hallways. They listened when I spoke in meetings. I used to call myself a successful man. But now, at 82, sitting in this quiet house and looking back, I can see what was missing. And that missing piece was my fault. I'm telling you this because maybe you're on the same path right now. Maybe you say, I get along great with my coworkers. Maybe you say, I'll make time after I retire. That's exactly what I used to say. It was 1997 when I got promoted, general manager, a big office, a wide desk. Half the wall was glass. Every morning I looked out over the city and felt like I'd made it. Back then I was in the office by 7 a.m. I never left before 7 p.m. I came in on weekends too. I spent a lot of time with my team. Meetings, presentations, strategy sessions. We were always together. But looking back now, I realized something. We weren't really together. We were just working. Even on coffee breaks, we talked about work. At lunch, we talked numbers. In all those hours side by side, we never actually connected. I didn't know their lives. They didn't know mine. In 2005, my assistant Karen's father passed away. I didn't go to the funeral. I had a meeting. I sent a card. I wrote my condolences. She had been my assistant for 10 years. She was with me every day, and I didn't even know her father's name. In 2011, our sales director, James, retired. We threw him a farewell dinner. I gave a speech. I said, you were a pillar of this company. People applauded. He left. 2 months later, I called him. I needed information for a project. He didn't answer. I sent a message. No reply. I tried 3 more times. He never got back to me. I didn't understand it then, but I do now. I had only ever called him for work. That call was the first time, and the last. He had been my colleague for 30 years, but he was never my friend. September 2019, my retirement day. I went into the office that morning to pack my things. I brought 2 cardboard boxes. I put in framed photos from my desk, my pen holder, stacks of old business cards. I left my door open. Part of me thought maybe someone would stop by. No one did. At 3 o'clock, I went into the conference room, the same room I had walked into every week for 38 years. I sat at the head of the long table and looked at the empty chairs around me. Dozens of people had sat in those chairs over the years. I remembered their names. I remembered their faces, but I wasn't calling any of them, and none of them were calling me. I looked at the clock on the wall, 3:47 p.m. Still no one had come. I carried the boxes to my car. I looked back at the building one last time, and I left. That night, I sat at home. My phone didn't ring. No messages came. Not the next day, not the next week, not the next month. I had spent 38 years with those people, every single day, but I was never really there with them. Now I want to tell you 4 things. 4 things I learned at 82. I hope you learn them younger. First, working well together is not friendship. I confused those two for years. I used to say we get along great as a team, but what we really had was a smooth workflow. Standing side by side on a project is not the same as standing side by side in life. Friendship means calling someone when you don't need anything, just to have coffee, just to talk, with no agenda at all. I never made that call, and I never received one. Second, networking is an illusion. I had 400 business cards in a box, 1,500 connections on LinkedIn. Do you know how many I called after I retired? 5. Do you know how many called back? 2. And both of them wanted something. Networking is transactional. Friendship is not. I mixed the two up. Don't make that mistake. Third, hiding your weaknesses isolates you. I always felt like I had to look strong. I was the boss, the leader. I handle everything. I don't need help. I don't have problems. But that creates a wall, and there is no friendship behind walls. Not once did I sit in my office and say to someone, "I'm not okay today." Not once did I say, "I'm scared," because I didn't want to look weak. Now I understand that showing vulnerability isn't weakness, it's being human. And without humanity, you can't build real friendship. Fourth, "We'll catch up later" almost never comes. Do you know how many times I said it? Once this work is done, let's grab coffee. After this project, we'll go to dinner. When I retire, I'll have time. They were all lies, mostly lies I told myself. Later never came, because later doesn't really exist. There is only now. You either make time now, or you never do. Now I'm 82. Now I have plenty of time. But there's no one left to share it with. I spent 38 years inside a company. I was a good employee, a good manager, but I wasn't a good friend. While chasing success, I treated the people around me as co-workers only. They did the same, because that's how I taught them to treat me. The biggest lie is this: work life is separate from personal life. It's not. Life is one whole. If you spend 8 or 10 hours a day with someone, that relationship is part of your life. Either be human during those hours, or don't be at all. So I'll leave you with 2 concrete things. First, today right now, ask someone you work with, "How are you?" Really, how are you? And listen. Don't talk about projects. Just listen. Second, this week, do something with someone that has nothing to do with work. Go for a walk, have coffee, watch a game, and don't talk about work. Not at all. If you can't do that, that person is a colleague, not a friend. And on the day you retire, you may end up alone, just like me. If this made you feel something, please share it. Maybe someone sitting in a meeting right now thinking they get along great with their team will see it, and maybe they won't make the same mistake I did. Leave a comment. Say, "I'm on the same path," or "I'm doing it differently." I read them all, and subscribe, because people like me still have a lot to say, but not much time left. Now go, call someone. Just ask, "What are you up to?" Today, right now, because later might never come.